Hey guys, it's Akita Kitsuki here, and today I want to talk to you about something that's kind of really important to me. Two things: religion and homosexuality. That's kind of me in a nutshell. Just kidding. Um, so I don't know why people like putting these topics together, but they do, even though they probably shouldn't. Um, and I kind of wanted to address the issue. So here it goes. Um, So I've noticed that when the church wants to reject the idea of homosexuality, they turn to the book of Romans. And I've been taking a class on Romans, um, and I've also been taking a New Testament class. Yay for private Christian schools. I got my Bible all up in front of me, and it's RV, I think. Oh, and RSV. Sorry. Dyslexic. Okay. So, anyways, in Romans chapter 1, verse 24, which is where people usually start, says, "Therefore God gave them up in the lust of their hearts to impurity, to the degrading of their bodies among themselves," and then kind of goes on, and in verse 27 says, "Men committed shameless acts with men and received in their own persons the due penalty for their error." Well, that's usually where people stop. They kind of will say, "Oh, um, it's this is like the worst sin ever because Paul's pointing it out." Well, you know what? Paul goes on to say, "Well, this is also things that are sinful. Covetousness. I'm not going to list all of them, but some of them: covetousness, envy, deceit, craftiness, gossip, slander, hatred, boastfulness, disobeying your parents, foolishness and faithlessness and ruthlessness." Um, but yeah, and then it goes on in chapter 2 to say, um, basically, y'all are doing all this shit. Who are you to point fingers at people who are gay? And this is the verse that supports it. If you would have kept on reading about people below the Bible Belt, "Therefore you have no excuse, whoever you are, when you judge others. For in passing judgment on another, you condemn yourself, because you, the judge, are doing the very same things." And this comes from the wonderful theology behind Christianity that says all sins are equal. And therefore, if you lie, you are just as bad. If you kill somebody, you're just as bad. Because you know what? All sins are the same, and homosexuality is not any different because it's basically just sexuality. And what I was getting at is it's not people's job to judge other people. That's God's job, and it's kind of His alone. We're not really qualified for that job. So I guess you could go ahead and hate homosexuality all you want, but if you're going to speak judgmentally, then I would actually like to ask you to kindly shut the fuck up. And moving on, I've heard the cop out that it isn't the orientation itself that's sinful. So you could be attracted to people of your same gender, or in my case, attracted to everybody. Not everyone. I have my types, but gender isn't a limit for me. It's not a border. Um, but it's the act that they say is what's sinful. So having sex is wrong, and if that's so, then why do we look at it and say, "Oh, if two men want to have sex together, it's somehow wrong, and if two women want to have sex together, it's wrong"? But if a girl goes out and gets pregnant in high school, or a guy's on the other side of the equation, you guys are sitting there throwing a freaking parade and giving them a baby shower. It's like, why are you having double standards? Like, I grew up in a Catholic family in the San Fernando Valley, and this is kind of it's very common for people to be bragging um, and kind of, I don't know, flaunting the fact that they lost their virginity around like 14. And there's a lot of girls being taken advantage of and guys being taken advantage of, but and vice versa, because sometimes that happens. But people will suddenly say that if it's two men or two women, a same-sex couple, then it's suddenly wrong. And I don't understand that at all. And me as a Christian sits there and scratches my head and says, why. Um, so we've kind of established that we aren't making all premarital sex wrong. So, and before you start to protest at that point, just stop and go channel surfing. Jersey Shore, Gossip Girl, stuff like Miley Cyrus and Justin Bieber. We cheer them on when they go. Oh, the Kardashians too. We cheer them on when they go start fucking whoever they want, and we never shudder to think that it's wrong. But we turn the TV to Glee, and we start going, oh my gosh, how can you put this on TV? There's two men that are in love that want to have sex. Oh, there's two women that are saying to each other because they're dating. How could you let that be on the air? Well, I would actually like you to think about this for a second. If you think that premarital sex is wrong and that gays should never get married, you're kind of making all of their sex premarital. So it's either you make premarital sex illegal or make gay marriage legal. So, and this will stop you from being hypocritical and will kind of promote treating people equally, because it's either everyone could have sex or nobody could have sex. And usually it kind of goes to the second one. But yeah, rant over. But I do have some exciting news from the wonderful, wonderful world of Aikido Kitsuke. I'm finishing up my junior year. I just took my last actual final. There's like that. Yeah, I still have a writing project that's due tomorrow, and I've been kind of keeping busy with moving because I got a new apartment, which means I'm going to be staying here in Portland over summer and next year and whatnot. And it's going to be really, really, really fun. Except for the fact that I still don't have a job. So I guess probably not as fun as I hoped, because I'm going to probably be pinching pennies more than nobody's biz. Like, I wanted to work at Boy Scout camp this summer, and that was like a 2-month gig. And then my now ex-friend kind of ruined that for me, so I have to get a real job. If anyone in Portland wants to help me, get a job, by all means, send me a message. An application would be nice. Or you could just contribute to the Sabrina's broke off her ass fund. Shush you. The Sabrina's broke off her ass fund, and I could give you a couple addresses where you can send it to me. This would be much appreciated, even though I doubt any of you guys are going to send me anything. So that's all I have for you, and I hope you enjoyed this and didn't think this was total crap.